This is On the Left Side, your alternative football show.
The quicker he gets that bus and goes wherever he wants to go around the world, I'll pay for him. Get him out!
Hola, it's Senor Jim here. So you've checked the results, you've watched the highlights, and you've listened to the ex-professionals telling you how players were real men back in their day. So now it is time for something a little bit different from the world of football. So, West Brom have done the dirty. The 4-0 hammering by Chelsea was the straw that broke the camel's back. That camel being a branded sportswear and baseball cap wearing camel in the shape of Tony Pulis. The West Midlands club find themselves perilously close to the dreaded drop zone and need a new approach to drag them out of it. So, who do you go to when times are tough and you need someone to guarantee survival in the Premier League? I hate to say it, but the boys in the swivelly match of the day chairs last weekend got it bang right.
I wouldn't fire him, he's never been relegated. Probably, if there was a club that was struggling, he was out of a job, they'd probably turn to him to try and keep them in the Premier League.
Perhaps they should sack him and then hire him back with a stroke of genius.
It really is a worrying sign when even Alan Shearer is starting to talk sense. Lineker nailed it as well for me. That's exactly what West Brom should do. Stick a massive comedy moustache on Tony, hold a big unveiling ceremony and proudly announce that Pony Pulis will be taking West Brom to the next stage of their history. Amazingly, the board have managed to come up with something even less inspiring and made assistant manager and previous Baggies boss Gary Megson the boss until further notice, which is a really weird phrase to use in that scenario. Normally, I'd associate the phrase until further notice with something pretty negative like there are no more trains until further notice, or this stadium will be closed to the public until further notice. So you're actually saying it out loud, it feels kind of bang on. For Baggies fans, it's a real case of be careful what you wish for. Most of them wanted Pulis gone for his style of football, but I think everyone is kind of feeling a bit sorry for poor old Tony, a man who does what he does, and that includes a manager at the very opposite scale of the footballing spectrum right now. Even if Manchester City fans did decide that Pep Guardiola should get in the sea, it probably wouldn't matter, because he could walk on top of it. But that doesn't mean he hasn't got a load of sympathy for the outgoing Pulis.
First I can say a big hug from Tony. He was an amazing man, so gentle, always would drink a good red wine.
Does sound like Pep and Tony were, close. But it did get me thinking, finding a new manager is a little bit like romance and dating, isn't it? You don't want to come on too strong in the early stages because then you'll just look stupid if they're not really that interested. On the other hand, as Everton found out with Big Sam Allardyce, playing it too cool is a dangerous game as well. After Sam ruled himself out of the running because Everton hadn't approached him yet. If you find a little hottie on your dating app, then don't spend too long fanning about without asking her out on a date. In that time, she could be off telling all her mates about the hot guy she's met and how you're gonna hook up, and then she's gonna get the right hump and look like a tool when you haven't taken her to Nando's by the end of the week. And Big Sam loves a Nando's. The moral of the story being, if you see a hot girl on the internet, then act fast. Otherwise, West Brom will get her and you'll end up with a dowdy old David Unsworth. Or something like that anyway. But don't worry too much, Tony. I'm sure you won't be out of work for too long. Sooner or later, a football chairman somewhere will decide that staying in the Premier League is much more important than playing anything that remotely resembles football, and you will be right back in the frame. And if you get too bored of waiting for that to happen, you can always go to Manchester United. No, not as the manager, as the player's personal handyman. The Old Trafford club are currently advertising for a player care property technician. Someone to help fix Phil Jones's leaky tap, to sort out Jesse Lingard's broken microwave, or have a look at Fellaini's blocked plug hole, which I imagine is an absolute nightmare. Firstly, surely all those guys have enough money just to sort that out themselves. They can pick up the phone and get a man in. And secondly, is it just me that thinks this sounds like the start of some dodgy porno? And when you look at some of the tabloid stories that circulate around Premier League footballers, That could be exactly the scenario that they have in mind too.
Hello there, Mr. Marshall. I'm here. I've come to service your big pipe, and I hear you like to get in around the back and dive inside the box.
We should just all be thankful that Wayne Rooney is no longer at Manchester United. Otherwise, he'd be forever calling up and asking for help giving a good service to some old boiler. If you get what I mean. Actually, you know what? On second thoughts, maybe just wait until they sack David Moyes there, Tony. So long, farewell, we really have to go. I hate to say that's all from today's show. Make sure you've hit subscribe, and we will have a brand new show for you on Monday, straight after the weekend's football action. And if you don't follow us on Twitter, make sure you do that right now and check out the rather brilliant and slightly chilling Future of Football Robots video that you will find on our timeline and of course on YouTube if you subscribe to the On the Left Side channel there as well. I will see you soon. Bye bye.
On the Left Side is written and produced by Ant McGinley and Jim Salveson for Abrupt Audio.